Welcome back to the 17 News at Noon podcast, where we share your news on your schedule.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
The Stagecoach Fire continues to grow, and we have breaking news this afternoon about the number of homes that have been destroyed. Kern health officials talk about the backlog in tests as they announce new cases of coronavirus. But as the county tries to ramp up testing, other areas across the country are slowing down. We'll explain. And a local woman graces the cover of a national magazine with her amazing weight loss story. She joins us live on set to talk about her journey. This is 17 News at Noon. Good afternoon, and thanks for joining us for 17 News at Noon. I'm Maddie Jansen, and we begin with breaking news this afternoon about the Stagecoach Fire. We have just learned that 10 homes total have been destroyed by this fire. That's 7 more than we knew about this morning on 17 News at sunrise. Kern County Fire also says that another home, an 11th home, was damaged by the flames. Right now, the fire has grown to 6,700 acres, according to the Bureau of Land Management. As of last update, Kern County Fire says the blaze is about 10% contained. And a reminder, this is burning in the Caliente area. About 250 other structures are still in the path of this fire. And Kern County fire crews are still working hard to get a handle on it, and they say they expect it to continue to grow. To get the latest from us on the Stagecoach Fire, be sure to follow our social media pages and download the 17 News app. We'll send alerts straight to your phone. Meantime, another wildfire has broken out today, this one over the Grapevine. It's being called the Fort Fire, and it's closed the slow lane along southbound Interstate 5, according to California Highway Patrol traffic website. And it's burning about 2 miles from Fort Tejon. Kern County Fire says this blaze has the potential to grow to about 1,000 acres. Other breaking news, this one in your court watch this afternoon. A former Kern County Sheriff's deputy who was convicted in 2017 in federal court pleaded no contest today to 15 felony charges filed by local prosecutors. Logan August pleaded no contest to all charges, including conspiracy and burglary in connection with stealing drugs from a sheriff's storage locker and putting them back on the street. His attorney, David Torres, said prosecutors offered 5 years as a stipulated plea bargain, which he believed was excessive. In order for the court to consider a possible sentence of probation, Torres said they had no choice but to enter no contest pleas to all charges. Torres also said, quote, the defense will prepare a sentencing statement outlining the reasons why Mr. August should be afforded leniency at the time of sentencing. And now to the latest on coronavirus here in Kern County. This morning, 291 new cases were announced by Kern County Public Health. No new deaths were reported. This brings us to a total of 21,734 cases of coronavirus in Kern County since the pandemic began. Our death toll right now stands at 152 people who've lost their lives to COVID-19 in Kern. 6,109 people have recovered so far from the virus, and 266 are currently in the hospital being treated for it. Our peak day for new infections remains as July 7th, with 747 new patients who were tested who eventually came back positive for the virus. Kern County officials spoke this morning about the backlog of tests, saying despite the new surge testing site, some people are still waiting as long as 2 weeks to get their results back. An Associated Press analysis indicates that the number of people getting tested for coronavirus is dropping as the number of deaths from COVID-19 is rising. The analysis found the number of tests per day slipped 3.5% over the past 2 weeks nationally. A higher positive test percentage indicates either that the virus is spreading out of control or that only the sickest patients are being tested. Officials say this trend is due largely to Americans getting discouraged over having to wait hours to get a test and days or weeks to get the results. Well, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says the Senate will not adjourn today for its scheduled August recess as negotiations continue on a coronavirus package. The Majority Leader, speaking on the Senate floor this morning, told colleagues the Senate will not adjourn, but members will have a 24-hour notice before a vote on a possible coronavirus relief bill. Last week, House Majority Leader Steny Hoyer said he had told members to expect to meet in August for a vote on COVID-19 legislation, saying members would be given at least 24 hours notice before the House was called back into session. In your Crime Watch this afternoon, Bakersfield police are searching for a man suspected in a double homicide. Shooting happened Tuesday night on 10th and M Streets. BPD says 2 men were shot. One died at the scene. The other was taken to Kern Medical, where he died a few hours later. BPD says they're looking for Eric Laval Nichols. A warrant is out for his arrest, and if you have any information on where he may be, call BPD. All right, welcome back. We're in your 17 Health Watch, and we're joined by a special guest this afternoon. A Kern County woman is on the cover of this month's issue of Woman's World for her viral weight loss story. Amanda Rose, and she's the creator of Eat Like a Bear weight loss platform, and she's joining us here in studio this afternoon to talk about her accomplishments and how they landed her on this cover. Amanda, thanks for being with us. I appreciate it. It's wonderful to meet you.
Thanks so much. Yeah, so Women's World contacted me because they learned that the Eat Like a Bear community has over 50 century cases already. So there's not just my case, which they feature in the magazine, but we have 50 people who've lost over 100 pounds. We have testimonials daily of 20, 30, 40, 50 pounds. It's extraordinary.
What is the Eat Like a Bear community?
So Eat Like a Bear community it's a group in Facebook that started with just 500 people 2 years ago right here in Central California. It's mostly women over 50, and so that's what's extraordinary. That's what got Women's World attention, because their demographic is women over 50. We're the people who don't lose weight, and the people who are having the success are those like me who've struggled with their weight their entire lives, and I found myself at my lowest weight as an adult, and it's unbelievable, really.
Okay, so what does Eat Like a Bear mean? How did you guys come up with this? And first off, though, how much weight did you lose?
So I'm a half my size weight loss case. My high weight was 280. I'm 140.
Wow.
Yeah. And what I realized is that I mean, all of the messages from the diet communities have not worked for me, obviously, over all of those years, because deep in my heart, I am not a moderate person. I am a very excessive person, and I'm not going to stop at like the cup of chips. I mean, I don't measure the chips, I eat the bag of chips. And so how could I put my excesses in a boundary? And that's what I do. I eat in 1 hour a day. It's a highly nutritious meal, so it meets all of my daily requirements, but it fills me up like it's Thanksgiving with this high fibrous meal that is calorie minded. I'm satisfied. I am more satisfied with eating than I've ever been. And I draw the line on my eating, and for the rest of the 23 hours in the day, I go on to other things.
Yeah,
I want to show
you.
you.
She's going to grab this
I eat big.
bowl here.
This is my evidence. This is what I eat in, and I eat what I call the ridiculously big salad, because I mean it is truly ridiculous, and it does take an hour to eat. It's
and
a lot.
You fill that entire thing up.
Pretty much. I mean, it kind of depends on what's in there, but yeah.
A protein, though, and you make sure you got a lot of different vitamins and nutrients in there?
Absolutely. So there's lettuce base. There is a homemade dressing that's crafted to be satiating with good, healthy fats in it, but not overdone in calories, and then the protein. Yeah.
Where did you get the idea for this kind of diet?
I was actually approved for bariatric surgery here in Bakersfield, but it didn't meet up with my schedule. And so I was just desperate. I knew I needed to lose the weight before the surgery. And more than that, I wanted to prove to myself that when I walked into that surgery, I had done everything that I could do. I was proving that to myself. And so what I did is I took like all the lifetime diet experience and kind of thought about like, why did I fail on that? What was the problem with that? And then crafted something just to meet my own personal needs.
So you came up with it yourself, and then you joined this online community, and everyone else kind of picked up on it?
Yeah, people started following it, and then it's just kind of blossomed.
Oh, okay, Amanda, we're out of time, but what is the Facebook group if people want to check it out and join?
Eat Like a Bear.
Eat like a bear, like you're going into hibernation, but make sure it's something healthy like Amanda does, a giant salad. Amanda, thanks for sharing your story with us. We appreciate you so much.
Thank you.
And congratulations, by the way. All right, let's check out your forecast with Kevin.
Well, we saw great temperatures overnight, 65 degrees, the overnight low in Bakersfield. This time of year, we should be near 70. Our normal high, 97. We will not even be close to that today. And the record of 110 set back in 1990. Not a lot happening on the satellite and radar. You can see with these arrows that trough that is in place. We will see some clouds along the coastal areas for today. But the big headline is the cooler weather all around the state. 89 in Sacramento, Fresno at 90. 70s down in Los Angeles and San Diego, but a little bit warmer east, Vegas at 103. And then for the beaches, I talked about some cloud cover there today, 65 degrees, a west-northwest wind 10 to 15 miles per hour. Here's a look at the Pacific, and these arrows are indicating that trough that you see. You can see how they kind of dip to the south. Then we've got the ridging off to the southeast. And we're not going to look at a big warm up here the next 7 days. We will see a little rebound by the weekend, but then we level things back off again next week. Now, on the national picture, temperatures today in the mid-60s out of Seattle, cooler there. They've been in the 80s along with Portland, 74. Warmer in Salt Lake at 97, 92 in Denver today. Up into the northeast, we're looking at lower 80s into New York and Washington, D.C. Here's a look at the air quality today. Will be good with an AQI at 49. Our UV index still high at 10.3. Here's a look at the numbers, and I think you're going to like it. Bakersfield, 89 degrees today, along with Delano, 88 in Taft, Maricopa at 87. For the mountains in the Kern River Valley, look for a west-northwest wind 10 to 15. Pine Mountain Club at 72, Tehachapi at 78, and then for the Kern River Valley, mid-80s for Lake Isabella, 91 in Weldon. And then for the desert today, beautiful day, Ridgecrest below 100 at 97, 89 in Mojave. Here's a look at the extended forecast. And tomorrow we'll warm things up near 93, 97 on Saturday, triple-digit Sunday, Monday, but then right back down again by the mid part of next week. And then for the mountains, we're looking at lower 80s to round out the work week tomorrow, 85 on Saturday, upper 80s Sunday, Monday, but then back into the mid-80s by Wednesday. And then for the Kern River Valley, lower 90s for Friday, mid to upper 90s by the weekend, and then mid-90s return by next Wednesday. So no major warm-up is on the way. So get out and enjoy this Thursday.
Education news and back here at home now. The Panama Buena Vista School District has pushed back its start date to August 24th so that everyone can prepare for the new school year. The district says it wants to make sure students get a quality education even while learning from home. They devised a program to teach their teachers about best methods of distance learning. The district says each home is different with different needs because not everyone has adequate equipment such as laptops or Wi-Fi to learn effectively from home. The district says pushing that start date back will give teachers an extra 8 days to practice their distance learning platforms. Plus, there will be parent training courses on August 13th and 14th to teach families how to help their kids while they learn from home. Today, the Los Angeles police officer who lost his life after battling coronavirus was laid to rest. Valentin Val Martinez was from Delano. He was an expectant father of twins and had been battling coronavirus since late May. Martinez is the LAPD's first sworn officer to die after contracting the virus, but the second employee to succumb to the deadly respiratory illness.
Working in the spirit of the Golden Empire, this is 17 News at Noon.
The 17 News at Noon podcast is a production of KGET and Nexstar Media Group. For more on all of the headlines in today's show, head to KGET.com.